Hey guys, Erika Papa here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm coming to you with a hair transformation video yet again, and I just wanted to kind of hop on here and preface the footage that I have of me doing my hair because it was like a really messy vlog and I wanted it to make more sense. So I'm coming on here to kind of like explain point A to point B, how I got from really dark brown hair to this color that you see here, all the steps in between, and I will obviously break it up with the corresponding footage because I did film a lot of the process. Just to give you guys a little background on me, I've been blonde most of my life, really for the past year and a half, wanted to go dark, and I finally did it a few days before Christmas. Everyone was kind of like, ooh, what are you doing? I just really wanted to do it. I wanted to let my hair grow out and get super healthy. So that was my plan. And I actually did it at home. I had taken out my Bellamy sew-ins and I had just noticed a lot of damage. It wasn't my hairstylist's fault, but since we went in and we bleached my hair right before we put the sew-in and installed it into my head, it had created a lot of damage just from me wearing my hair up and washing my hair with it in. My hair is naturally very thin and fine, and the sew-in wefts aren't necessarily the best thing for someone with that hair type, but I was insisting on having that, so it wasn't my hairstylist's fault. He was just doing what I asked. So yeah, I took it out, I saw a lot of damage, and I was like, that's it, I'm starting my healthy hair journey right now, I'm going dark. So that was around Christmas, and I only dyed my hair at home twice, I believe, with products from Sally's. It was like a level, I don't know, 4, maybe a 3 in certain spots. It's pretty dark. And then I went to my stylist mid-January to touch it up once, and I don't know if he used permanent or if he just did a really nice rich toner. He just added some more chocolatey tones to it. But what I had noticed is after going dark, I started having a lot of psoriasis, eczema problems on my face, my scalp was freaking out, and I came to the conclusion that it was every single time I was dyeing my hair I was having these issues. I actually realized fully after the last time that I went to the salon, which normally never happens to me when I go to the salon, I had a really bad allergic reaction to the color itself. So upon figuring out that I was actually allergic to the color, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm not going to be able to dye my hair dark at all anymore. I can't put color on my scalp. I've always been able to get away with highlights because they're not directly on the scalp. I can't put bleach on my scalp either. It's a nightmare. I'll get like blisters. It just triggered my psoriasis so bad going dark because obviously the color's on the scalp. It was like devastating to me because I was going dark just to start a healthy hair journey, and I wanted to let my hair grow really long. You know, the less lightener you're putting on your hair, you're not really gonna get damaged because you're just depositing color. So I thought that by going dark I was really doing my hair a favor, and then obviously it backfired when I found out I was allergic to color. So fast forward a few months, I had quite the root. After I really let my hair grow out and I tried to contemplate what I was going to do, I talked to my stylist and he just said, this is not a good idea. Your hair is going to cotton candy, aka it's going to fall out if you try to bleach it. And I don't know if you guys know anything about me, but I actually went to cosmetology school back in like 2012, 2013. I used that hair knowledge to my advantage so many times throughout the years, and I knew that my hair was capable of this because I'd actually pulled red out of my hair about 6 years ago. I was a really deep like purpley burgundy, and I was able to color remove all of it and then get up to platinum within a month. So my hair is actually really resilient even though it's thin and fine. My hair was longer than it's been in a long time. It had a lot of like resilience to it. It was drying straighter than normal, which is how I know that it's like pretty healthy. It wasn't wavy and frizzy like it normally is when it's damaged, and I just felt like I could handle this at home. So when my stylist was fed up with me, I decided to take it into my own hands. The footage you're going to see is pretty much me stripping it with different types of at-home remedies with shampoos. Then I went in with a color corrector twice, 2 separate occasions, and then I went in and fully lightened it, and then I toned it. Everything was spread out. For instance, me stripping my hair and then me coloring my hair, I did not do in the same day. I spread everything out at least 3 to 4 days or until my scalp was oily again. That is the key if you want to keep your hair on your head. You do not want to go in and say bleach your hair or color remove back to back if your hair feels dry and damaged. So that was my #1 rule for myself, and that was my #1 tip for you. Trust me, I have been there. A few years ago, I did do enough damage to have to cut my hair into, I'm talking a short bob, and actually wear a wig for a year. So I knew what to do and what not to do, and I paced myself. All of the different clips that you're gonna see are on different days, and I will kind of walk you guys through that. I wanted to show you guys the process, so I'm just gonna get right into it. There's gonna be 2 steps to this. Both are things I've seen on YouTube plenty of times, so you guys might have already seen this, but I'm gonna do a double whammy and kind of combine them. Also, just for reference, like I don't know if you guys can see, I'll insert some pictures of when I first had it colored, because it was even darker than this. It has faded a little bit if you look at the ends of my hair compared to my scalp. And then my scalp has like blonde bits coming through because my natural hair is much lighter than this. This is probably like a level 4 or 5. So first, what I did was I picked up some Simple Truth organic shampoo, and then I picked up some vitamin C tablets. These ones were chewables. This is a very common Pinterest and online remedy for stripping the hair at home. It is going to dry your hair out. That's what stripping is. I didn't want to use something as harsh as Dawn dish detergent. I also didn't want to piss off my scalp any more than normal when I know that things like sodium lauryl sulfate, which is in most harsh clarifying stripping shampoos, that's a chemical in there that really bothers my scalp and triggers my psoriasis. So I just went with something more natural. I took a coffee grinder and 10 little 500 milligram vitamin C tablets, and then I just ground it up in a coffee grinder, added the vitamin C powder to the shampoo, mixed it together, and applied to my head. So I'll show you guys the clip, but I left it on for about an hour and I wrapped it in saran wrap. I really rubbed it in. I really like worked it through my hair and made sure that it was completely evenly saturated. And then I went ahead and washed that out. I have applied the magical solution and I swear it already looks lighter. So this is what I'm left with. And it might not look, I don't know how it's going to show up on camera, but this is actually significantly lighter. I'd say it's a shade lighter. Once I washed it out and I blow dried my hair and my hair was clean, that is the perfect time to use a color remover. Now the first time I did this, I used color before, and this was on the same day as using the vitamin C and shampoo solution. And that's okay because it says on the color before any color stripper to do it on clean hair because you want it to evenly strip everything. So that's the only time that it's going to be okay to do any sort of process back to back, is when you are just simply doing something like a shampoo cleanser and then doing the color stripper, because your hair actually needs to be clean to do the color remover, the color stripper. So I used color before the first time, and I will show you guys those clips. Here is the color before hair color remover that I'm going to be using. This is the extra. It says it removes dark tones and buildup. The before literally shows someone with like pretty much black hair, and they're getting to a color that's very, very similar to what I would like to get to. It says you simply comb in and wait up to 60 minutes and then rinse away and your hair is free of color without using ammonia or bleach. So I put all of the extra activator into the extra remover, just like you would with hair color, and then it says begin applying from the applicator onto the areas of the hair which need the most color correction. Once evenly applied, process for 30 minutes regular strength or 60 minutes extra, which is what I have. It is at this stage that the artificial color molecules are being shrunk. You must ensure the room is not cold and there is no draft. So you can see I just put it on, I followed the instructions very thoroughly, and then I washed it out. This time I still had a lot of warmth in my hair. I felt like it was a little uneven. There was definitely a darker patch in the midsection, a lighter patch towards my roots. Hot roots is very typical with this because it's more virgin hair, which means it's less processed. There's less pigment that's been deposited, and also, mind you, my hair was platinum before I went dark, so anything that wasn't originally platinum kind of lifted easier. I waited a few days after that, and then I went in. I just took time to think about it, what I really wanted to do. Every single step that I did was very premeditated, and I took time to rationalize and think before just boom, 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 and not having any hair. The second time that I stripped my hair, I decided I wanted to use a different stripping agent because I had gone back and looked at when I had done this years previous, and it worked great. Like I had told you guys, I had stripped my hair from a really dark red going back 6 years ago. And I remembered that I didn't use this Color Before brand. I used something from Sally's, which is a different color remover. I'll show you guys the box in the clip. This one worked much better, just as I had remembered. It lifted my hair to almost an ash, almost exactly my natural color. I don't know what they put in that. It is definitely much stronger. It says it contains hydrogen peroxide, so it is a little bit more stripping than the color before, but it worked better. So in my opinion, if you would have just gone right in with the one from Sally's, you probably would have got a better overall result with less damage right off the bat. It also is more product, so therefore you can do more than one session out of the same box. It has been 3 days since we last saw each other, and pretty much I just mulled over what I was going to do. I just feel like the color before did a great job, but it didn't do as good of a job as this color fix did for me like 6 years ago. So I wanted to give this one a try. This one does have different instructions. It has a little bit of a different ingredient situation going on, and because it is more on the professional side, because it's from Sally's, you have to like mix it in a bowl. My plan is to give my hair a trim. I might trim off like an inch when I'm done. I don't necessarily have split ends, but the ends are very, very dry, and I'm sure they'll be even drier after doing it again. So today is the next day. My hair is wet because I just decided to take another shower because I could still smell the color remover. Like, look, I have like no roots. It's really nice. So after the 2 separate days worth of sessions of stripping my hair, it was a little dry. I did the babyest trim, I mean less than a centimeter off of my hair, and I really didn't need to, but I just wanted to keep my hair's integrity and health like A1. After I did those things, I really planned and tried to figure out what I wanted to do next. And I have these 2 lightening products that I ordered off Amazon that I remember using from back in the day when I would go to Salon Centric, which is something you can only go to if you have a cosmetology license. So my Salon Centric card is expired, and I just ordered these products online. You can get fakes. I'm not recommending that you do this, but this is my favorite lightener. It is by Redken, I believe, and it is their Blonde Icing. It's like a powder cream lightener, and it is the Power Lift one, I believe, and it is the cream developer, and I show these in the clip. Those lighten my hair like a dream, and they also condition the hair like a dream. I've never found a lightener that is as gentle on my hair as those, but also as powerful. So I believe it was 30 volume that I used, and I just mixed it to the consistency that I liked. And I applied that, but first I coated my head root to tip in coconut oil. I wanted extra protection. I knew that my ends were already dry from a few days prior stripping. Even though I had waited a few days for my scalp to get oily, I wanted my ends to be oily because that was where I was doing all the lifting. I lifted almost to the scalp. I left about an inch or 2 at the root, and I figured I could handle that later, but first let's just get the bulk of my hair light. So I went in, and as you guys can see, I just pulled it through these sections. It was actually really easy to fully saturate the hair because the coconut oil just kind of helped everything slip on better. It really helped the hair to mesh, and I was able to brush the hair through easier. The coconut oil trick was amazing. I added melted coconut oil into the actual solution as well as my hair. My hair felt better after. It was amazing. It was like a conditioning bleach treatment. I don't know why that isn't a thing, but definitely add oils to your bleach. It's not necessarily going to make the lift any less. The only thing that makes it less is if you let your bleach sit out until it's no longer active. But yeah, I actually found that because the coconut oil almost made my hair feel wet, it kept the bleach, I'm sorry for anyone who hates this word, it kept the bleach moist, and it therefore was active longer. So that really lightened my hair. I was shocked at how fast it lifted. So I was kind of worried this would happen since it was pre-lightened. Before I went dark, it was platinum. It was not my natural color. It was not virgin hair at all. What I wanted to do was I parted my hair half up, half down, and I just focused on really targeting the bottom section. It lifted in like 10 minutes, so I'm very glad that I did this. And if you have pre-lightened hair underneath your dark hair, depending on how long you've been dark and the condition of it, you might want to do this. And it lifted so fast within the 10 minutes that I got it on and let it sit. I didn't even have to wrap it in any sort of saran wrap, and I had my husband help me wash it out in the sink before even continuing with the top. So as soon as you get the bleach wet and you at least rinse out most of it, even without a shampoo, you're going to deactivate it so that your hair is not going to over process, which is very important when you've already been doing all this stripping. And then I went in and did the top. I did get some clips of this, but I was really just in the zone and focused on my hair, as you should be when you're doing any sort of bleaching. So that got my hair super light. I just had a very harsh root. It just looked like typical 2-3 month regrowth. So at this point, I took another few days. I really deep conditioned my hair. I used things like Olaplex in between every single one of these steps. And what I came up with is I'm just going to kind of baby light it, which is very thin highlights. They're annoying because you have to do a lot of them, but I figured I'm going to part my hair half up, half down again, and I'm going to baby light the top, which is typically called a partial in a salon. This is going to give you a lot of brightness, a lot of lightness. It might even look like you have a full head of highlights unless you pull your hair up in a ponytail a lot. Then you will see all of that dark root underneath in the back. But I really just wanted to A, let my hair have a break in the back and grow and stay healthy, and B, give myself the appearance of more brightness and lightness around my face. Break up that root too, like that was my goal. You can see where that line is, but it's very broken up by the baby lights that I did. I didn't film this part because my camera was dead, please don't kill me, but all I did was very gently weave the hair. I did sections going this way, so with my part. I did not do it like this because that will leave zebra lines. You want it to look as natural as possible. They didn't even get as fine-tuned as I would have liked them to be, but when you're working on yourself and when you're working at home, you really got to be careful and just take what you can get, because it's very difficult to highlight, let alone baby light your own hair. And you also have to really work efficiently, which is why I was like in the zone and forgot that my camera was dead and didn't charge it or film this part. Please forgive me, but I'm going to tell you what I did. So I worked from this side all the way over to this side, doing boom, 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 back-to-back foils, so that I really got the amount of lightness that I wanted. And mind you, I did not overlap past that root. You don't want to like continue to over-process the part that's already blonde. I just had a root that I wanted to blend. So when I did a lot of highlights, it wasn't that hard because I just had to focus on, you know, getting the right amount of hair into that foil, which I just used tin foil, aluminum foil, and then really just painting it only on the darkness that you're gonna see and not getting any on the scalp where it's gonna leave weird bleach spots. So less is more. Don't get globs on your brush, just gently paint it, fold it really nicely. There's plenty of highlighting tutorials out there. I did from left to right, probably in about 10 to 15 minutes because I was really focused. And then I left it in for maybe another 20. My hair lifts really fast because this was the virgin hair that was left over, the hair that had been growing out for a few months while I decided how to get rid of this dark hair. So it lifts pretty quickly on its own because it's not that dark to begin with. When I took it out, I just noticed my hair overall still looked pretty golden. It's very typical of me to go in with a toner. So what I decided to do was go in with Wella T27, and then I added in a little bit of their color additive, which is 050. And the 050 is a purple color additive. The reason is I got these Foxy Locks, which is what I'm wearing right now, and I have since toned them, but let me explain a little bit first before I talk about that. Before they were toned, they were a little bit more warm and neutral, and so instead of using my typical T18, I said I wanted to use something more beigey. So I looked up the Wella toner chart, and there was one called Neutral Beige or something like that. So that was the T27, which is what I went in with, and I added a little bit of 050 because I didn't want it to pull too beige and pull too warm. It was just my instinct. I still wanted it to be a little bit on the ashy side, but I didn't want it to be like silvery white like T18 typically does. I felt like it had lifted enough with the bleach that I didn't want to do that. So I put the toner on, I washed it out, and I just felt like and I just wasn't overall happy. So it was pretty, and I did post a picture on my Instagram announcing that I was blonde again with this, but you can see in that picture there was still a little bit of warmth. So what I decided to do about a week later or so is go in with the T18 that I'm used to, and that is how I got this color. So I would still advise T18. It's just the ride or die for a reason. It's like their cult favorite. You can pick it up at Sally's Beauty. It's like $6, and it's just the best for getting out any warmth in the hair. And then what I did for these Foxy Locks is actually ridiculously simple. These tone easier than normal hair. They are human hair, but they tone so ridiculously fast that if I were to just coat them in purple shampoo, they would be dark purple. So what I did is I just fill up my sink, and then I pump in 1 or 2 dollops of Shimmer Lights, which is a purple shampoo. Any purple shampoo will work for this method. Just make sure that you're not going to put too much into the sink, because you only need to turn the water the lightest pastel purple. Then you slowly sink your extensions 1 weft at a time for about 10 to 20 seconds, checking on it in between. I actually like to dip the side with the clips, the tops, in first, because the ends are typically more porous and they will grab darker. So I like to dip the tops with the clips in first for about 10 seconds to 20 seconds, and then dip the ends in for like 5 to 10 more seconds, and that's it. Pull them out and then wash them through with clean water once you're done toning each individual weft, and then I like to condition them and let them air dry overnight, and then I style them. And they are the perfect amount of ash while still having some warmth. These do have some darker streaks in them to give them a lot of dimension. They're not like their platinum color, which is all one shade. And I really like the dimension. I think that it just kind of goes with the dimension I have in my roots right now. I'm very happy with it, considering I did this all myself. I didn't go to a salon. So that's what I did to achieve this at home. I hope that the footage was helpful. I hope that me trying to talk you guys through everything that I did was helpful. Just to recap, I did a stripping vitamin C wash. Then I stripped my hair with a color mover called Color Before. Then I waited a few more days, probably 4 days, and I went in with the Sally's color remover, which was my favorite, highly recommend. And then I waited about a week, and I went in and coated it in coconut oil and bleached it with the Redken Flash Lift Cream Blonde Icing. And then I waited a few more days and I went in and highlighted it, and that's the missing footage. So I highlighted and toned it, and also toned my extensions. But yeah, this was actually really simple, and it wasn't that stressful, and also didn't feel too overwhelming to break it up into separate days. It also gave my hair time to recover in between this, but I barely had to trim my hair at all, and I lifted it at least 5-6 levels. My hair was extremely dark, as you guys can see in my past few videos, and I got it all the way up to, I would say, almost platinum. So I'm very impressed. The integrity and health of my hair is still there. I would definitely advise, if you're going to use bleach, include a bunch of oils. If you're going to color move, give your hair a break before bleaching it. Those are my main 2 tips for not having your hair fall out. So yeah, I hope this helped you guys, and anyone considering trying to go from brunette to blonde at home. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. You have to trust yourself and be prepared to go to a salon if you do jack it up, because that has happened to me before. I believe in you. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got some useful tips. Give it a thumbs up if you did like it, or if you learned something, and I will be back with my next one. Subscribe if you aren't already, and leave some comments down below if you have any questions that I didn't answer. I'll see you guys in my next one.